Welcome to Oral Bites Podcast with your hosts, Kate Bootman and Carl Horton.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you both doing?
Yeah, good, cheers.
Good, good, good. Mr. Carl Horton, how are you doing? You okay?
Yeah, good, thank you very much. Yeah.
Charlie, how are you?
Yeah, great. Had a good week.
You're good, fantastic. Very, very lucky to have Charlie join us today.
Absolutely.
We're gonna chew his ear. We certainly are.
Yeah, Charlie, I mean, the last time we chatted was, you're a bit hot and sweatier than this. And it was good to, do you know what? I was minding my own business in that little sauna and I heard the word running and I heard you chat. Who are you talking to? Was it anybody that I know?
I don't think so. It was one of the uni.
Yeah, okay.
Who training.
Yeah. And probably like all three of us actually enjoy running to different degrees. Kate's kind of non-competitive runner, if you don't mind me saying so, Kate.
Don't mind.
You just do it for the enjoyment.
I do.
Me, I would love to be a competitive runner, but I'm not fast enough. So, I like to criticize and encourage people that do like to run. And then Charlie, mate, you're exceptionally good runner, aren't you?
I'm pretty competitive, definitely. So, yeah, I do a fair bit.
Do a fair bit.
What's your next race?
Well, I'm actually doing the Derby 10 miler in a few weeks. I'm guessing that wasn't because when you last asked me that question, that wasn't the answer.
It wasn't. No.
Yeah, so I'm off in December to New Delhi to do the World 50K Championships.
Yeah,
which is pretty exciting event over there. And sort of
it's fantastic, mate. Yeah. What's the distance again?
So it's 50 kilometers. So I call it a marathon and change. So it's not as far as you run, Carl, but
Oh, yeah. I kind of, I didn't finish it. We hit well, it's frustrating because the day before was beautiful. The morning that we got up and their early starts, it was torrential rain. Then it got worse. And then it started to get dark-ish. And the guy I was running with is fantastic. He's a seasoned ultra runner. Yeah, I had to call it. I wasn't, I did 50 or 49.8.
close enough.
If I'd have left my Garmin on, the walk to the pub would have been the extra 200 meters.
You can count that.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, your Derby one?
Yeah, that's a 10-mile race.
Yeah.
Weeks.
How did you get into running, mate?
So I started in primary school, actually.
Yeah.
It was quite a big push. Well, not a big push. There was a cross-country club in primary school, and I got in through that. And then, actually, I grew up in London, and you had this thing called the London Mini Marathon, which was a lot of kids get into running that way. And it's basically, well, when I was younger, it was the morning of the actual London Marathon. You go up into London, and you basically run the last 3 miles of the course sort of early in the morning before all the main marathon runners come through. Same finish line on the Mall, and grew up doing that sort of every year. Got involved in club running, and
yeah, it's a nice little event, that is. It's changed a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, they changed the distance, and I think they do it the day before now, which I think is a bit of a shame, because one of the the nicer things was you'd hang around the day after. We'd always stand in St James's Park and watch the actual marathon, and
yeah,
it was always a good day out.
Did you win it?
No, I don't know. I was nowhere near. I don't know what my eyes position was. It was hard to tell, because sometimes they'd score the boroughs and the regions separately. So if you didn't live in London, it was harder to qualify for. If you lived in London, it was a little bit less.
Do you get nervous before any of your events?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, you'd be strange if you didn't. So I think you sort of channel it in the right way. I always call it more excitement rather than nerves. Sometimes your body gives it away more than your mind does.
Yeah. Do you have any rituals, or none that you want to share?
I wouldn't say rituals, more like routine, especially with like a big race. You kind of know what works for you and what does. Same sort of food the night before, the same breakfast the morning of, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's your whole warm up routine as well is often quite like repetitive as well. So you almost go into like this it's a little bit like in dentistry, isn't it? When you're doing procedures, you've got your checklist of things that you do. You do it so many times, you have to think about it. So it's a little bit like
Yes.
that.
So what would be your go-to breakfast
So
pre-race?
for a big race, so usually actually these days is rice pudding.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, sometimes mix a bit of Nutella in. It's that right. Yeah, that's not my daily breakfast, but before a big race, that's the best way to get loads of carbs in.
Okay.
In a fairly sort of stomach friendly way. Usually warm, but I have been known to sort of some races you're out there eating it out the can. I like rice pudding as much as the next night. It's a lot less enjoyable that way, like room temperature rice pudding out of the can.
So that'd be sugar-free Nutella, given the line of work you're in, yeah?
I love to say it was. I don't think that exists, does it?
I'm sure it doesn't, no.
No, there's one to invent. I'm not sure I'd want to really bother. I mean, have you tasted sugar-free chocolate?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Don't bother.
Yeah,
Don't bother.
yeah. I like a bit of dark chocolate, but
Mm.
Oh, now you're talking. Nice bit of dark chocolate, definitely. And what about injuries, Charlie? I mean, I know it's not always easy to avoid an injury, but what lengths would you take to avoid injury?
so yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I mean they happen. I don't think no one's immune from them. I usually sort of check in with a physio. Well, not as often as I probably should, but before I knew you've got this big race coming up, the big training block coming up, so I checked in with a physio a couple of weeks ago. Usually get a massage every few weeks during like a heavy training block as well, uh, and that helps. I do have a bit of a gym program, so a couple of times a week I'll be in the gym working on sort of areas that have been highlighted as weaknesses. Right now, the flavour of the month is my left gluteus maximus, which apparently is not firing properly.
Oh, okay.
So, so I got some exercises there.
Well, what
Yeah, it's
is...
fascinating, isn't it, Charlie? Sorry, Kate.
Go on, no, you carry on.
I picked up a little niggle probably about a year and a half ago, and yeah, similar thing. Not quite at the level you're at, mate. The physio said, had a little look, and I think they're amazing at what they can do. And he just said, you've got you've got a weak left leg, so you're running on 1.5 legs. So we've got to build your strength upon that. And I'm guessing that's the same sort of thing they're putting you through, analysing it, giving you some tips, working on whatever exercise they do.
I mean, yeah, like you say, it's amazing with the little things and like imbalances they'll pick up on. Whenever as I said, I saw my physio a couple of weeks ago, and I maybe hadn't seen him for about a year until then, maybe a little bit longer. I used to see him a bit more regularly, but I've just been sort of fairly injury free, which was nice. But he literally, got me in front of the work on my back, and he goes, "Oh, I remember this back." I was just like, "Oh, great!" And honestly, whenever he works on my back, I get up and I feel like 2 inches taller.
Oh,
There's a,
gosh.
feel anything wrong before, but you sort of notice the difference even then. So.
Yeah,
Do you,
yeah, yeah.
do you think that's to do with your job as well, though, Charlie, as well? Would that have...
Yeah, I imagine that's definitely it's not the best on your back. You do what
No.
you can, but it's
We haven't really said that Charlie, obviously, I know we sort of said dentistry at the beginning, but obviously, Charlie is in
yes.
the dental
So,
world. And a dentist doesn't just like visit practices and sits in a waiting room. You enjoy your dentistry?
yes, yeah. So I've been qualified 3 years now. Uh, so yeah,
It's
still
gone
enjoy.
quick.
Yeah, it has, it has,
Yeah.
it has.
Do you use running like as an escape? Like, what is it about running that you like?
A little bit. I really like the social aspect of it as much as anything. To be honest, most of the running I do actually, I do a lot. Uh, so well over 50% of it would be with someone else, and they're friends that I've come to, friends in running, friends outside of running. It's like every day you get home from work and go for sort of a run for an hour with your mates. You basically chat the whole time, and it's
Nice way
it's
to
a
catch
nice
up.
it's a nice way to spend an evening. Yeah, exactly. It's like this is the same people we'd go to the pub with. There's a few less pints involved. You feel a little bit better after it and the next morning. But so yeah, that's certainly one big thing. It's a good, and even when you're running on your own, it's quite a nice, like, I think it rests your mind, your body, but it's nice to have a little bit of time, and if you are on your own, just out in the fresh air and the world, you can go to some nice places as well. So.
Yeah. I was going to say, do you have favourite running routes?
Oh, I mean, I'm quite lucky where I am in Birmingham. You can get out of the city fairly easily. You don't have to run that far before you feel like you're sort of out and about in your countryside. So I quite like going out that way. Woodgate Valley Country Park, for anyone who knows it. And once you get to the end of that, you sort of get out into the fields.
Do you prefer running in the morning or in an evening?
Well, at the moment, I do both.
Okay.
I'll usually run in the morning and then run in the evening as well. So, I'm not a morning person, so I definitely prefer running in the evening. Although I'm probably better. I'd say I'm probably on better form by the time I get into work if I've run in the morning or done something. Because I think I've just been awake for longer. So, but yeah, I had the choice of the evening one.
Oh, okay. Interesting. What about you, Carl?
Yeah, I'm not a morning person, but I'm a morning runner. Oddly enough, but my son isn't at all. So I tend to find that most of my runs are later on in the day. But me, I much prefer wake up, and people find it strange, but I like to go for a shower first and then go for a run and then have another shower afterwards. But yeah, that's just me. How did you're a member of Brats, which is I'm going to say it's a fantastic athletic club, Charlie. How did you end up finding out with Brats, or how did you become a member?
Yeah, so I think I mentioned I'm from London originally, so I'd been in a club down there, where I grew up for from when I started really, and then I came up to Birmingham for uni, and I'd stayed in my sort of originally local club, at the time I was at uni, and I graduated in 2022, and I was sort of you lost that team element of because running for a lot of people is like a very individual sport, but there also is the team element of it, and so you lost that a little bit, and I was looking for some way to fill that in really, sort of as I was coming into, because when I graduated, I thought, wow, running's going to have to take the back seat here, which certainly more to a degree than it had when I was a student. You got a lot more time on your hands, obviously. So I thought, it'd be nice to get involved in a team where, I can play a part even if I'm not hitting the levels individually. And yeah, Brat was obviously shared the track as a uni, so I was aware of them through that. A couple of my friends joined up at the same time as me, and so we knew we'd have a decent relay team. Got in that way, really.
Or for the road relays?
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
we signed up in like the August, so we were sort of ready to roll for the road relays. And then we got a medal the first time we won our
You
first
did?
one, so we were we pretty good start.
Yeah, it's a good event, isn't it? To Kate to explain this, there's a park called Sutton Park, and we do a loop around that, and I think Brat's probably field the biggest teams in numbers. So you've got like Charlie's level of team, and then all the way through to my level of team, which are the Dad's Army, I think Dan called it once. And yeah, it's a fantastic event, and they have a cut-off point. When the fastest teams have finished, or their runners have come through, they have a mass start, and it's like foxes and hounds. So you all line up and run and do your loop. It's a great introduction to running if you haven't run before, as a club level. Like Charlie said, it's so good, such good fun.
I think it embodies that spirit, doesn't it? Really,
Yeah,
quite nice.
yeah, and the atmosphere around there is fantastic. Apart from the dog walkers that we irritate, So apologies to all your Sutton Park dog walkers that we wind up. But and coming back to your race in Delhi, Charlie, how I mean, when you're doing that kind of distance and you've done the London Marathon, in what time did you get?
It was 2:19.
Yeah, you got to beat Nick Price's time. You got to get
Yeah.
that record, mate.
That's next year's London Marathon.
Yeah, and we had a little bit of a chat, Kate and I, and I've mentioned this to a few other people about fueling and what you're having to eat. So when you're doing your ultra, sort of what sort of stuff are you taking, gels when you're doing that, or?
Yeah. So when I did the marathon, it was just gels, and then
Yeah.
I'm hoping for the ultra because the GB team has like its own stand. So the marathon, the elites get bottle stations, but I was in the mass start, so you take what you can carry on you from the start. So gels are a little bit sort of more compact, I guess, than fluids. But because we've got a bottle station every 5K for this, I'm hoping to do a little bit of a mixture of gels and like carbohydrate drinks. So which I'm just sort of in the process in this training, like testing out a little bit because I've never done the drinks before. The gels I get on quite well with.
Okay.
Um, and the marathon this year is quite hot, so I drank a fair amount of water, but I'm probably not as good as taking on like fluids as I am as taking on gels. So there's a little stuff to do there, but I think most people would say a mixture is probably the best way to go.
Yeah. So we haven't got any sponsors, mate. You can tell us which
Yes.
which you're going to trial.
Yeah,
So
I use Science and Sports SIS. One of the bigger companies. They have a line called Beta Fuel, which is like the gels are like dual source carbohydrates. I can't remember which two carbohydrates it is. Apparently, that by having a mixture of the two, you use them better. And so each gel is I think about 40 grams in each gel. The dentists are probably like covering their ears right now. Up London, I was aiming for 120 grams an hour, which is a gel every 20 minutes, basically.
yeah, that's about right. Yeah, that's what I understand it.
And yeah, I'll be doing probably aiming for a similar headline amount for Delhi, just with the fluid mix. I think I'm probably 2 gels and 1 drink. Like a good recipe.
And it's amazing. I mean, it's fantastic to be selected, mate. How did you find out?
I got a phone call. So it was the application was via sort of expression of interest. So there wasn't a trial event because Kay's in a given year. So they had a marathon standard and a 50K standard, and any one of those standards could sort of apply. And my coach was like, "Oh, you should put your name in the hat." I was thinking, "Oh, okay, sure, but pay as well." But there's not much point. And then they actually tried to call me all night when I was at the track doing a session, and I missed call, email, WhatsApp. Like I just trained, got home, went to bed late, woke up and checked my emails. I went into work next morning, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we've been trying to get hold of you. Is there a good time to call?" And I was like, "Yeah, we can call at lunch. Call on my lunch break." And yeah, that's how I found out.
Oh my God.
Brilliant.
It's a nice moment.
Keep them waiting, mate. That's the key.
Yeah, I don't want to think how long I would have had to keep them waiting before they went to the next name.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
yeah.
I might have even considered cancelling the patient. Sorry, but I would. You must have been so excited, Charlie.
Yeah, it was nice. I think I'd sort of been trying to like talk myself like, "Oh, it's not going to happen," but I was getting a little bit excited, like because it's such a cool like thing to do.
I should
Going
think.
over to India, representing your country. So it was a nice.
My God, you have to manage your own expectations.
Yeah.
So doing that, like, well, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't really matter.
Well, it was probably I think it was probably like 2 or 3 weeks between me applying and finding out. And I
okay.
I was telling people I'd applied, but it's like, "Oh, but it's not going to happen." But I was like, "Oh, if it does, this would be," and sort of, yeah.
My gosh, that's amazing. So do you talk to your patients about it or not?
Some of them, there's get the odd patient that comes in and they want to chat about running. The key, but if someone comes in a nice pair of running trainers and or,
Yeah.
or a big Garmin watch on their wrist,
Yeah.
I'll normally sort of
Somebody else
what's
similar.
The Garmin's are a giveaway.
yeah, Garmin or trainers is
Yeah.
usually the
So
one.
after a big event, what is your go-to after? So what would you do? Ice baths,
Well,
cool down, food, what would it be?
after the marathon, I walked about a mile to a pub, and then had about 6 pints, and then
Fair play.
and then I went out for dinner with my girlfriend, and I think I took the day off the next day. So
I love it. Keeping it real. I love
that
this.
was great. I think that worked pretty well. So
Yes. Well, I'm making a note.
Does she run too?
yeah, she does. She used to be a little bit more competitive when she was younger. I think still runs a fair amount.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking like social wise, if you're doing all this running and she's not a runner and you're doing your dentistry, which can be quite consuming really with this kind of career.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
it's not a 9 to 5 job really. People think it is. They think kind of you turn up and do your dentistry and go home. But unfortunately, with all the well, it's not unfortunate actually, but the way the career is, you can get consumed by it.
Absolutely, it's easy sort of you get down the rabbit
Yeah.
hole when you're at home, and
Yeah.
it's Sunday.
You do take it home.
Yeah,
home.
yeah. Can't help it.
No, I agree. It'd be easy. It'd be lovely if you could switch off. But I think it says a lot about a person if they don't as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think it's probably the kind of people that it attracts as well.
Yeah. What attracted you to dentistry?
Question really. I got interested in it for a talk at my school. I'd got into I think I'd got all the way to sixth form and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And so someone came to the talk on dentistry, and I went and did a bit of work experience with a dentist who's sort of a friend of a friend of a friend or something like that. And I just enjoyed, to be honest, the work experience. I mean, you guys probably you can't really do that much these days. I've had people with me, and I'm sorry, it's really boring, but the gist I got was they sort of just sat there and chatted to people all day, and I thought this sounds great, like, and yeah, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but it is a big part of it. So
Yes. Yeah, no, I can understand that. Yeah, you have to be a social person to do it, because you do, because you're
yeah,
treating patients all day, every day. So yeah, I get it. I do get it. Have you got any family that's in dentistry or?
no, I'm the first only at the moment. So yeah,
The first. There you are. Would you like to go on and do anything else? As in, implants?
yeah. I mean, I've certainly got aspirations. I mean, I'm still quite early on. And it's nice. I'm sort of in the stage where you can still learn a lot just by doing things. But yeah, I'm starting to get sort of planned out.
You should look at Horton implants. I've heard they're really good.
Other good things in saunas. So
Yeah, we've had this chat sort of very lightly.
the way this chat started with you two saying, "Oh, the last time I saw you, you were really hot and sweaty in a sauna," I was thinking, "Where's this going to go to?"
You get kicked out after 15 minutes now.